In my most recent 2 videos, we spent time breaking down various aspects of the new trailer for The Bad Batch Season 3. We explored various theories of how Asajj Ventress is back, and the way Brad Rao confirmed on StarWars.com, Season 3 aligns with the 2015 Christie Golden book Dark Disciple. It doesn't go against it, but Star Wars fans are a bit confused. Ventress supposedly died, and since The Bad Batch Season 3 takes place a few years after the events of that novel, we all want to know the specifics of how Ventress is back. And since her death was made to sound so definitive at the hands of Count Dooku, many fans have wondered if the Asajj we see in the trailer is a flashback or a clone. Some have even taken the famous Bomar Monastery from the Clone Wars movie on Teth, which also features in the 3rd season, to be a clue that Asajj is indeed a flashback. Well, my dear friends, today we have some brand new information thanks to StarWars.com, and it turns out she's not. She is very much alive, in the present day, in the flesh. Lucasfilm have updated her databank entry twice in the last 24 hours and confirmed she not only survived the events of the book and is alive during this time period, the final season of The Bad Batch, but they also gave us a massive tease for how she survived. And it appears to corroborate a massive Nightsister theory I put forward in yesterday's video. It might be more than mere speculation. There is some truth to it. A former Jedi Padawan turned assassin, Asajj Ventress was trained in the ways of the dark side by Count Dooku. For many years, she yearned to be considered a true Sith, secretly acting as Dooku's apprentice. During the time of the Clone Wars, Ventress fought for the Separatists, clashing with Jedi like Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker with her twin red-bladed lightsabers. But after Dooku was ordered to dispose of Asajj and left her for dead, Ventress returned to her Nightsister clan to exact her revenge. In time, Ventress reinvented herself as a bounty hunter and reclaimed her identity neither as a Sith nor a Jedi. In the final years of the war, Asajj returned to a life of solitude, conflicted and confused as to her position and relationship with the Force, but also her relationship to Quinlan. Seeking some form of closure, she travelled to the planet of Pantora to visit the bar where she and Vos first formed their partnership. To her surprise, Quinlan had the same idea, and he was there at the bar too, in hopes of reuniting with Asajj. He attempted to explain his attack on Sereno and reassure her to settle her concerns that he became a Sith. But Ventress remained wary and dismissed his consolations. She knew Quinlan rejoins the Jedi, and despite their commitment to not being attached, Quinlan promised her he would leave the Order soon, but not before he defeated and captured Count Dooku. Ventress was brought before the Jedi Council by Vos. They were enraged at first, but the Jedi accepted her presence on the basis that they knew she too was trying to take down Count Dooku. But any future plans between Quinlan and Asajj were cut short. After crash landing on Christophsis, Dooku learnt about Vos's plan and tried to kill him using Force lightning, but Ventress, sacrificing herself, stood in the way and saved Quinlan's life, taking the brunt of the injuries and the assault. After Dooku escaped, Ventress's sacrifice helped Quinlan break the dark side's grip on him entirely. As we know, with time, he would go on to be part of the underground Jedi path. But after Asajj died in Vos's arms, both Vos and Obi-Wan took her body back to Dathomir, where she was laid to rest in the waters of her village. A green mist rose. Before the 2 Jedi Masters left the world, they heard whispers of the Nightsisters' voices, but they didn't realize the Nightsisters were reviving Asajj, and so, as Vos reached out in the Force to say goodbye to Ventress, he could hear the Nightsisters whispering the word sister. They laid Asajj to rest, along with her yellow blade. And after they left, it turns out Asajj survived. She was brought back to life by Nightsister Magick. So let's fast forward to the final paragraph, where they say this: her death at the hands of Dooku in the novel was not the end of her story. So there is our confirmation. She is not a flashback. She is not a clone. It's her. She survived. Her story isn't over yet. We don't know what they're going to do in Season 3 to show us maybe a reunion between Ventress and Quinlan, and what kind of tension is that going to bring? She is no longer a light side or dark side Force user, either somewhere in the middle, or maybe she uses her powers and her new curved lightsaber to enforce her job as a bounty hunter, as a free agent. But it's good to see StarWars.com kind of give us the foundation and precedent for the continuation of her story. But let me now give you the entire context to show you how Nightsister resurrection is the most probable thing they're alluding to. If I had to make a concrete prediction, I would say they're most likely going to give us the entire flashback on Dathomir, Quinlan Vos and Obi-Wan Kenobi bringing her body back to her homeworld, burying her, and then, after they leave, we see the perspective of the Nightsisters doing their magic, reviving Asajj, their sister. At this point, Mother Talzin is dead. Dathomir and the Nightsisters experienced such a big tragedy during the war. However, there were some who survived. As I posited yesterday, she may have gone to ones we do know who are alive later in the timeline as well, like the Grey Mothers. But at this point, Mother Talzin is gone. So I'd love to see that kind of flashback. And another question, if Asajj Ventress is a free agent, working as a bounty hunter, is she someone who is hired to track down Omega and Crosshair when they escape? And so now, what is her motive? But it could also be the case eventually Asajj helps Quinlan with the Jedi path. I think the final season of The Bad Batch needed a surprise like this, and it's been awesome to see fans so excited. It's good to see Star Wars bustling, theories and speculation abound, and I'm aware this is my third Bad Batch video in a row, but it's an exciting time. This is the next big Star Wars project, 3-episode premiere on February the 21st, and I asked you guys in the community tab, are you excited for The Bad Batch Season 3? 90% of the 6,000 votes said yes. Only 10% said no, and I get it. Animated Star Wars isn't for everyone, but I've got a feeling the final season is going to have wide-ranging implications for later projects. But something Season 3 is going to do aside from the Asajj stuff is definitively answer the fate of the clones, the ones we don't really see further down the line. There are only 3 left on Sealos by the time of Star Wars Rebels. I'll be heartbroken if something happens to Wrecker. The picture I used for the no option is who we believe to be Crosshair, Phase 0 Dark Trooper. But could it be someone else? Could it be Tech, if he survived? Lots to ponder about, and thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give me a big fat thumbs up, share your thoughts down below, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. May the Force be with you, always.